If you chase it, it's going to run. And if you grip it, it's going to slip out of your fingers. And if you put it way up on a pedestal, guess what? You can't freaking reach it. This is called the law of detachment with manifestation, and I'm about to make it make sense. Now, what most people are familiar with is the law of attraction, right? And maybe you've heard of the law of detachment. But what most people don't know is that there are actually 12 universal laws that work all together. So if you want me to keep explaining the rest of them and actually break them down in a way that your brain can actually comprehend, drop part 2 in the comments and I will keep this going. Okay, let's get back to the law of detachment. Here is the easiest way that I can explain it, the easiest way to think about it. When you order something online, you place the order, you get the confirmation for your order, and then you go about the rest of your day. You don't sit by the mailbox panicking. You're not emailing customer service every 2 hours asking if it's still coming. You don't question if you deserve it or if it's really going to show up. You just trust that it's already on the way, even if it's going to take weeks or months, because you already placed the order. That's detachment. Your desires work the same way. Detachment doesn't mean that you stop wanting it. It means that you stop needing it to feel okay. It means that you trust that it's coming because your worth is not tied to whether or not you receive it. You are already whole. You are already enough. You always have been. You are already safe, babe. When you act like you can't be okay without the thing that you want, you create resistance. You block it from coming. When you trust that it's yours and you let it come in its own time and you know that you're going to be okay no matter what, you become magnetic to it. That is the law of detachment. So take a breath, babe. You already placed your order. You're already enough. And your job now is to trust and get ready to receive. Now make sure you drop part 2 in the comments if you want me to keep explaining the 12 universal laws of manifestation in a way that your brain can actually comprehend. I love you guys. If you plant tomato seeds, you don't get cucumbers. If you plant negativity, you don't get joy. And if you plant doubt, you don't get results. This is called the law of attraction and manifestation, and I'm about to make it make sense in the simplest way I possibly can. Now, most people have at least heard of the law of attraction, but what you might not know is that it's actually one of 12 universal laws that all work together. And if you missed my last video on the law of detachment, go check that out because it is another big one that you need to understand. And while it is technically not one of the 12 laws, it is crucial in manifestation. So most of us within this space speak about it like it is. It's basically adopted. Okay, let's get back to the law of attraction. Here's the easiest way to think about it. You get what you plant. If you plant tomatoes, you get tomatoes. Not because you hoped for tomatoes, but because that is what you nurtured. The same thing happens in your life. What you think, what you believe, what you feel, all of that is planting little seeds in your subconscious and in your energy. So if you constantly think about what you don't want, if you constantly believe that you're not good enough, if you constantly feel fear, that's what's going to grow. But when you start planting thoughts of worthiness, of gratitude and trust, your reality grows to match those two. Like attracts like. Your inner state attracts your outer world. That is the law of attraction. Now, here's the bigger picture, and this might actually change the way that you see everything. Your 3D reality, what you can touch, see, and measure right now, is just a reflection of what is going on inside of you. So the things that you already want, they exist on a higher level, in a future version of you, in another version of you, in what some people might call the next timeline. Your only job is to align how you feel, think, and move now so that your current reality can catch up to what is already waiting for you. Or to keep it very simple, you plant it here and you water it here so it can show up here. So take a breath, start noticing the seeds that you're planting. Because the question isn't, are you planting? You already are. The question is, do you end up with the plants you actually want or the ones that you don't? In the next one, we'll talk about the law of vibration and why it is the foundation for everything that you manifest. And if this helped you realize that you've been planting the wrong seeds, tell me in the comments. I love you guys. If you hit the E string on the guitar, the C string doesn't vibrate. If you tune the radio to 99.3, you don't hear the songs on 98.5. And if you keep showing up in a low vibration, you're not going to manifest high vibe results. This is called the law of vibration in manifestation, and I'm about to make it make sense. So most people, to them, the law of attraction is the one that they've heard of. And I just made a video about that one, breaking it down. And I also have a video about the law of detachment. So go check those out if you haven't yet. Today we are walking through another one of the 12 laws of manifestation, which all work together. And this one is the foundation for them all, because nothing that you manifest happens without it. Because here's the thing, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you're a vibration for. These mosquitoes. Vibration and frequency are not just some woo terms. So let's break it down, okay? Frequency simply means the speed or level at which energy is moving at. And because everything literally is energy, including you, you are always vibrating at some kind of frequency. So low vibrations are slower and heavier. Think fear, anger, and doubt. And you will literally feel that heaviness when you are in it. High vibrations are faster and lighter, like love, gratitude, and joy, which is why you feel so uplifted when you are in those emotions. You manifest things that move at the same speed as you. So when you raise your vibration, you end up lining up for things that are a better match with the frequency that you are on. This is why your vibration matters more than anything else, because it is the signal that tells the universe what to deliver to you. So pay attention to the frequency that you're on, because it's already shaping everything around you. Whether you realize it or not, you are always broadcasting something. So ask yourself, is the energy that I'm putting out matching the life that I want, or the one that I'm trying to leave behind? When you shift your vibe, you shift your literal reality. And if this made you realize that you've been vibrating at the wrong frequency, no shame, babe. I was stuck on a low-ass station for a long time too. The good news is that you can shift it anytime you decide to start putting in the work. So if something sparked for you and you realize that you need to raise your frequency, drop law of vibration in the comments below to help me keep this moving. I love you. If you sit in a parked car and you just think about where you want to go, where do you go? Nowhere. We are talking about the 12 universal laws of manifestation and how they all work together. So if you missed the last 3 videos that I made, go check them out so that you are on track. And this one is the law of inspired action. What most coaches don't tell you is that manifestation is not just about wishing, and it is not about working harder either. Isn't that nice? It's about feeling aligned and moving toward it. Because here's the truth. Alignment without action is just a dream, and action without alignment is spinning your wheels, okay? You have got to do both. You have to align how you feel, think, behave, believe, and then you got to take the step that feels like the next right thing. Even if it feels small, even when you have no idea exactly where you're going, okay? You have to listen to your intuition here. She always knows. And here's the magic. You don't have to figure out every turn. You just have to start driving the damn car. All right? The path will light up as you go. The universe literally just sprinkles like these little breadcrumbs on your path, and the job is to follow them. So stop waiting for like this flashing neon sign, okay? Stop sleeping on your dreams, babe. Start moving like they're already yours, and then watch how fast the universe runs and catches up to meet you. If this resonated, save it and share it out. That's how we help get the message to reach more people who need it. And that right there was me taking aligned action. So tell me in the comments, what is one inspired step that you can take today to be more like the future version of yourself. And remember that the universe loves momentum. So keep fucking going. I love you. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, you don't blame the mirror, you adjust yourself, because the mirror is simply reflecting what's already there. But today we are talking about the law of correspondence. We have been breaking down the 12 universal laws of manifestation in a way that is actually easy to understand. Not just the law of attraction that everyone hears about, but actually all 12 and how they all go hand in hand with one another. Maybe you have heard the phrase, as within, so without, as above, so below. But what the hell does that actually mean? Let me break it down. Your life is a giant mirror, and it is a brutally honest one. Your friendships, your finances, your calendar, they're all just reflecting what's going on inside of you. If you're feeling stretched thin, your calendar probably looks just as overbooked. If you're feeling resentful, you're likely tolerating people who drain you, disrespect you, or ignore your boundaries, or maybe you don't even have any. If you're feeling unworthy, you're probably undercharging, settling, or playing small somewhere in your life. The law of correspondence is not here to shame you. It is here to wake you up. Yes, it can feel very uncomfortable to look at the reflection, I know. But it is also a gift, because when you shift what is inside, what you believe, what you deserve, how you treat yourself, what you allow, your reality shifts too. Your life reflects you. So if you want the picture to change, you don't smash the mirror, you shift what it's showing you. So here is your move today. Look around and pick one thing in your life that feels off. And instead of blaming yourself or it, ask yourself, what is this trying to show about me? Change starts with awareness. If this finally made sense for you and you want me to keep going with the rest of the laws, drop part 6 in the comments so that I know to keep going. I love you guys so much. Go shift your reflection, babe. Give me 2 minutes to prove to you that you are way more powerful than you realize or have ever been taught. Today we are talking about the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which is a fucking mouthful. We're breaking down the 12 universal laws of manifestation because there's way more than just the law of attraction, and all of them work together, right? So I'm breaking them down super easy to help you understand. And if you missed parts 1 through 6, go check them out so that you're all caught up. Have you ever walked into a room where someone was like just fighting or something heavy was just happening? You didn't see it happen, but you can feel it. It's in the air. Like, it feels heavy. The energy is dense. You just know something is off. But then if someone like laughs or smiles, suddenly the energy in there starts shifting. It feels lighter. It's like you can breathe. That's because the energy is always moving. Energy is always changing. It is always transferring. And you are the one that gets to decide what to do with it. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy is just a very fancy way of saying energy is never stuck. It can't stay the same. It is always shifting. And you can quite literally shift it on purpose, because here's the thing. You don't manifest what you want when you are stuck in that low vibration, when you're stuck in fear, anger, doubt. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel those emotions. You absolutely can, and you should, but you don't have to stay trapped in them. Transmutation just means transforming energy into a higher frequency. So turning heavy energy into light, stuck into momentum, fear into faith. So when life hands you dense energy, as it will, you don't shove it down and pretend like it's not there. You feel it, process it, and then turn it into something better. You are not a victim of the energy you walk into. You are a transmuter of it. You are the one that can shift the vibe of the room. And you are the one that can shift the vibe of your own reality. So the next time that you feel yourself stuck in a low place, remind yourself, energy always moves, and so can I. because you are way more powerful than you have ever been taught by a fucking lot. And the universe notices every single time you choose to rise. If this landed for you, save it. So the next time you forget how powerful you are, you can come back to this and drop part 8 in the comments if you are still very much vibing with this series. I love you so much. Go shift the vibe of the room, babe. Mwah. You've definitely heard the phrase, what goes around comes around, and how exactly does that tie into manifestation? Today, we are going to be talking about the law of compensation. I've been breaking down the 12 universal laws of manifestation in a very digestible way. So if you've missed the rest of them, just go check out the playlist that I made to make it super easy to find. Now, this one is very much on the same wavelength as karma, like the last one, but I want to make it really clear. The law of cause and effect and the law of compensation are not the same thing, okay? The law of cause and effect is more about what happens directly after an action that you take. So you act, something reacts, like if you drop your phone and it immediately cracks. That's instant, that's direct, that's equal to the action. But the law of compensation, that's the long game. The bigger, delayed results that come back to you multiplied over time. You've probably heard people say, like, everything that you do comes back to you 3 times, or money comes back to me tenfold. That is the law of compensation. It's like there is a universal bank account, and every single thing that you do, every choice, every action, every kind word, every bold move, it puts a deposit into that account. And then over time, it builds interest, right? It grows, and then it comes back to you even bigger. And yes, it definitely works both directions, okay? So if you have been putting out generosity, love, kindness, courage, those types of deposits, they return to you multiplied. But if you've been putting out greed, jealousy, selfishness, bitterness, those are also going to come back to you multiplied. And this isn't to scare you, because this is where your power lies. There's always power in the laws. The law of compensation does not erase what you've already deposited, but it doesn't trap you in it either. Okay, it's not like it's always going to come back to you for the rest of your life. If you have made some shitty deposits, that energy can still echo back to you. But the moment that you shift and you start putting in like intentional, high vibe, beautiful deposits, you create a new stream of interest, and it will eventually take over the old. So today, focus on what you're depositing, because it's not just about what happens next. It's about what's building for you over time. And that can still be so beautiful. You're going to get there eventually. I know that was a lot, so save this so that you can come back and refresh yourself on it, and then drop part 9 in the comments if you want me to move on to part 10. I love you guys. Go make some beautiful deposits today. Give me 2 minutes to prove to you that everything you've ever done matters and nothing you've ever done is wasted. Today, we are talking about the law of cause and effect, and it's one of 12 manifestation laws. And yes, I did say 12 because there is way more than just the law of attraction. And they all work together, right? And I'm breaking them down super easy so that your brain can actually grasp them. This one sounds a lot like karma, honestly, but it's so much more empowering than that, because it reminds you that you're already manifesting through your choices, whether you mean to be or not. But today, I'm going to show you how to actually make it count. So picture this. You take a pebble and you throw it into water, right? And the first thing you see are those first little ripples. But what you don't see is how far those ripples keep going. How they're like touching edges that you can't even see from where you're standing. That's your energy. And your energy lives in your words, in your choices, in your everyday little actions. Every single thing you do is a cause. And the effects are already lining up to meet you. You don't just throw one pebble in your life. You're throwing them all day, every day. Whatever is attached to that pebble, those ripples, they come back to you, right? So if that looks like fear, scarcity, doubt, you'll find chaos, resistance, frustration. Well, what happens when you start throwing different pebbles? Like when you throw pebbles of trust, of gratitude, of bold moves, of belief attached to them. Well, now you're creating ripples of alignment. You become magnetic. You become someone who manifests on purpose. I don't want you to hear this and then be like, oh my God, I'm doomed. I've been throwing all the wrong pebbles. No, babe, you're not doomed. And no, you haven't. It's fine. This is where the empowerment comes in. Because when you realize what you're putting out, you also realize that you get to pick what you put out next, so that you can start causing completely different effects tomorrow. Nothing that you have ever done is wasted. Everything has taught you something, right? And what a freaking gift to be able to see that the pebbles you're throwing are part of why you're seeing what you're seeing. Because this is awareness, and awareness means you can shift it. So don't like eat yourself up in guilt and shame, babe. Use it as an opportunity to reflect on what is happening, and then start making better choices. Start replacing the pebbles. And look, if this series is helping you, can you please share it and like signal to TikTok that it's important, okay, that the message needs to get out, and then drop part 7 in the comments if you want me to keep going. I love you, babe. Keep throwing your pebbles. Just choose better ones, or keep throwing the good ones. I love you. What if I told you that nothing is actually bad unless you decide it is? This is the law of relativity and manifestation, and I'm about to make what I just said make sense. If you missed the other 8 laws, go check out the playlist that I made for you, okay? Have you ever noticed how 2 people can go through the exact same situation, but yet they walk away with 2 completely different perspectives? One person walks through it and they feel empowered, while the other one feels completely defeated. The law of relativity tells us that everything is neutral. There is nothing good and there is nothing bad, not on its own. So why do we end up feeling good or bad about things? Because of the context that we put it in, because of the meaning that we assign to it about ourselves, because of what we compare it to. And that comparison, that can be to other people, to our past selves, to some made up story where you think you should be by now, right? And I do want to be really clear here. Just because this law says that everything is neutral does not mean that things like trauma, abuse, violence, betrayal are okay. Those things are real. They hurt, and you are allowed to feel that. What this law does mean, though, is that even then, you still have the power to decide what meaning you carry forward from it. The law of relativity says that everything that you experience in this life is an opportunity to grow, if you let it. It will always be neutral until you assign it meaning, and you get to choose that meaning. So all of the thoughts that you carry about being behind or thinking you're not good enough, that you're broken, that's just you comparing it to something else. So the next time that you feel that way, ask yourself, what is it that I'm comparing this to? Nothing in your life defines you as a human unless you allow it. Send this to someone who's really freaking hard on themselves, and drop part 10 in the comments if you want me to keep going. I love you, babe. Go reframe, and remember how much power you have, because it's so much more than you realize. We don't get mad at the moon for going through her phases. We just know it's her process. So why are you getting mad at yourself for yours? This is the law of rhythm. And I want to break it down for you super easy, like I've been doing with all the other 12 laws that exist, okay? And there is a playlist for you to find them really easily. So think about it. Sometimes the moon is full and bright and she's like lighting up the whole sky. She's lighting up everything. And then other times she's dark. She's hidden. And it kind of feels like she disappeared. Your life moves the same way. You have highs and lows, you expand, you contract, and neither are bad. They're just part of your natural rhythm. And here's the power in this. You're not out here yelling at the moon when she's dark. At least I hope not, okay? That's another conversation. So stop beating yourself up when you're in a low. You're just in a different phase. You're not broken. So yeah, when you're shining big and bright, soak that shit in. But when you're dark and you're hidden, you also have to trust that you're still whole, because you are always whole. I hope this helped you to see your rhythm in a new way. Drop part 12 in the comments if you want me to finish out the series. Let's go. I love you, babe. Every freaking season and phase of yours is magic. You are magic. I love you. Everything you want is already yours, but are you aligned enough to hold it yet? Today we are going to talk about the law of gender, which is one of 12 universal laws that I've been breaking down for you. The law of gender is one that is often misunderstood because people hear the word gender and then they assume that it's literal. But it's really just about the different energies, the two energies that exist within all of us. Everyone on the planet possesses both feminine and masculine energy, and for your manifestations to fully come into form, those energies need to be in balance. The feminine energy is the one that imagines and trusts and receives, while the masculine energy is the one that acts, moves, builds. Both are already in you, and both are required to create what you are asking for. And here's the part that a lot of people don't talk about. You're not waiting on the universe. The universe is waiting on you. Everything that you have asked for already exists. But if you're only dreaming and you're not moving, it stays potential. And if you're only forcing and not trusting, you block it. The law of gender reminds you that creation is a process. You don't make it happen. You become someone who can actually hold it through balance and trust, showing up and healing. Your desires already belong to you. But can you actually hold the weight of what you have asked for yet? Keep working toward the version of you who can. I'm literally in the midst of working on something for you. Drop part 12 in the comments if you want me to finish this out. If you're vibing with this, check out the playlist that I made. If you have interest in what I'm building for you, go sign up for my email list. I love you, babe. You've got this. Mwah. Have you ever dated someone that showed you exactly what you didn't want in a person? Then this is probably really going to click for you. Today we are talking about the law of polarity, which is one of 12 universal laws of manifestation, but so much more than that. These laws do not just help you manifest. They explain how the universe actually works. The law of polarity says that everything has an opposite, and one cannot exist without the other one. So you cannot have light without dark, love without fear, abundance without lack, confidence without doubt. You can't fully understand the light until you have experienced dark. And you can't truly know what you want until you've felt what you don't want. The contrast is what gives it meaning. It's what gives you clarity. And here is how it ties into manifestation. Every time you experience what you do not want, you are automatically clarifying what you do want. And even better than that, you're holding the same rope. It is just a spectrum, so the opposite already exists on the other end. You just have to start pulling it toward you. So if you're feeling stuck in lack, start noticing what you already have. If you're sitting in fear, start looking for love. And if you feel like you are stuck in the dark, remember that the light is already there. It's just waiting for you to notice it again. If you keep beating yourself up for the lows, you're not broken, babe. You're just human. Those lows are actually helping you align with the highs and helping you build capacity to really appreciate them when they come. So save this for the next time that life feels heavy. And drop part 11 in the comments if you want me to keep going. And don't forget, if you haven't, go check out the rest of the playlist on these universal laws so that you can see how they all work together with not just manifestation, but with life. I love you, babe. You are doing such a beautiful job. Keep going. What you do for yourself, you do for all of us. Let that land. You are connected to everything. Every person, every version of you, every feeling, every outcome, even the stuff that still feels super far away, you're still connected to it. Energy doesn't just exist in isolation, okay? You and I, connected. The version of you who already has what you want and you, connected. The way you think about yourself, others, the way you speak about yourself, the way you choose to show up in the world, it doesn't just stay in your little bubble, okay? It ripples out into everything. And now that you know that, can you see how much your healing matters? How much your joy matters? You're not just changing your life or the life of your kids. You are helping shift the entire collective. When you grow, we all rise. This is the 12th and final law that we have been breaking down, the law of divine oneness, with the law of detachment as an added bonus. If you really love this series and you're ready to go deeper into how to manifest from wholeness, sign up for my email list. I have something coming for you. I will message you when my free guide is ready, okay? I love you. You are not alone. And you are so much more powerful than you know. I love you so much.